let's start all the way at the back. I mean, my first career, by the way, was peeling potatoes for a retailer.
Awesome.
When you're at your school, you always try to pick up and do other things for extra cash for university. But my background's effectively, I was going to be a CA. Well, that was the long-term vision.
Right. And where was that at? Like, was that like South Africa?
In
like
South Africa, in Johannesburg, South Africa, and that was kind of the parent's dream.
Yeah.
You know, when parents say you have to have certain roles. So I was going to be the accountant, my sister was going to be the lawyer, and my brother was going to be the actuary. Right? So parents believe that they can tell you what they want you to do. So I eventually went to Wits University in Johannesburg, and I actually left there with enough credits to have 2 degrees, but I didn't actually finish a degree.
Right.
And I started coaching cricket, and I enjoyed. I love cricket, the sport, and
not the animal, right? Like.
Yeah. But under 9B cricket coaching, it takes a certain level of love for the game, because I mean, if you understand cricket, there's out of standing and umpiring the game for the whole morning, probably about 2 kids hit the ball in 4 hours.
Oh yeah.
So it's a game of patience. But so I really loved it, and I got exposed to the world of teaching. So I started teaching and did my Bachelor of Education while teaching. So I taught for 5.5 years. And then, as life tends to happen.
So I just want to go back into something that you just said, like you didn't finish university.
Yeah.
Why?
I never fit in, to be honest with you. It was, I was always one of those who, if 51% was too much, your parents would go hard at you.
Right, you just did barely
enough.
Just to...
My friends would say that at 51, if you got 51 for anything, it's a pass, and you didn't drink enough because you got 1% too much. But it was, I enjoyed the human aspect more, about learning from different cultures, because you get exposed to people from various different schools, different backgrounds. So I really enjoyed that element. But I never felt like I belonged, in the sense that, you are going to be a CA or something like that. And so when the opportunity came around to engage on a human level, on a people level, I loved kids. And I loved coaching kids, and they're open to possibilities. Yeah. And they also challenge you. In the university you're told this is the way to do it, this is what you need to study, this is what you need to do. Whereas the child will turn around and say, for example, Mr. S, how do you do 3D, how do you travel in space in a 3-dimensional environment? And this was coming from an 11-year-old, and I'm standing up as a maths teacher, and I'm going, I actually don't know. And then, working with a class around, how you need 13 points, I think it is, of reference to make sure from point A to point B, and they were eating up. I mean, we were doing university level basics of astrology, and they were loving it. There's nothing a child can't do if they love something.
Rebel against.
Where did that come from? Like, I mean, like for me, like it's really difficult when parenting brings you to a perspective where you've got to get a degree, you've got to do this thing, and that's it, right? Like, how do you, like, what was it in you, like, I think growing up, like, were you always like entrepreneurial and like trying stuff out, being practical, as opposed to, hey, I've got to fit a social norm?
So funny enough, it was my mom was kind of a big catalyst to it. I always had I was the middle child, so my brother was the super academic.
Right.
I think he was the first person in South Africa who came first at a maths Olympiad using an English dictionary because he didn't understand what he was answering. Right, but he achieved. My sister was the only girl in the family. I was the outsider, so I was naughty. I broke the rules. I had a dedicated cane. Back in those days, we got hardings with canes, at the deputy headmaster's office, because I was a little bit of a rebel. But it was society or the schooling system expected me to act in a certain manner, and as soon as you challenge something, you're viewed as, you have ADHD, or you'd have this, or you have some condition that we once again label you to say, wow, you are behaving in this manner. I just wasn't comfortable with the way things were being done, and at the time you don't believe in that.
And it's funny that in my 20s I thought I had things figured out. But guess what? Like, no person at 20 years old actually have shit figured out.
No one.
Right? Like, it doesn't exist, right? And to me, that frame of work I had to unlearn to learn practicality. And to like, that's one of the things that I'm actually looking at, is if we put people through this system without understanding, you know, what their truth actually really is, and get them to fail and get them to learn from it and get them to go beyond, it actually puts them at a disservice to themselves, because they find themselves at 40, 50 years old just going, you know, like, I wish I had done this the other way, because now I have life experience, etc. Right?